Hello, all. Hope you can hear my voice clearly. This is Harish Srinivasan back with another live. But this is not a usual live we do with guests. Today, we thought of addressing the new education policy that we had arrived. So, we felt responsible to communicate that to our audience in a very short, crisp, and clear manner. So, if you could hear my voice clearly, you can type in the chat, whether you are in YouTube or Facebook. I'll also understand that my voice is clear. Okay, great. And reviewing that in 30 minutes is a very challenging task. I did my best with the preparation and all those stuff. So we'll start in another 1 minute explaining this whole document. You can keep asking questions, even though if it is not possible to address in this 30 minutes, I'll definitely take the questions and do one more video. So there is a lot to be said, so I can't convey all the information, but we'll do something very important today, and every week or update will be given on further updates, because I feel every stakeholder of the education system should understand it, be it parent, teacher, children, should understand, and even the other public who have gone through the education system should understand what is being said, and it should be discussed, debated in a healthy way. That is very important. So while doing this, I'll also understand more about the education system through your comments and through your responses. So that's the whole purpose of why we are doing this. So just give me a minute. I'll just set up things and we'll start it soon. And you can also post in the comment section if you have already seen the new education policy, where you're able to see it. You can just post it in the comment section if you're able to see some of the updates in the new education policy. Okay, great. So let's start this. So I'll also share my screen, the presentation as well. You will also see that live. So I'll switch on between my screen and the presentation as well. So let's start. So in here, first of all, first we need to understand how important is education for all, because that's the fundamental for any human achievement. So we respect it, and any policy that governs it, we need to first understand it. And do you remember last time when we were doing a session on sustainable development goals with Ayush Chopra? We discussed how every goal is important and it's a universal goal. I mean, not only one country can achieve it, everybody needs to achieve, and we need to do it together. That's the whole purpose of sustainable development goals. And sustainable development goals, there is a goal number 4, which speaks on quality education, which says everyone should access quality education. That's the fundamental goal. So every child in India should able to get equitable and quality access to education. So this document also starts with that manner. And here, the document initially focused on more holistic nature. So learning does not only need to be just marks and academics. It should be other 21st century skills, and it should be holistic, that it covers other aspects of learning, be it health, physical health, mental health, skills, academics, non-academics. So there should not be any segregation of subject as such, as high, low. Everything is important, and that's what this fundamental document is addressing. So we'll go one by one, and I'll go to a reform of each one by one. Quickly, I'll try to move towards it. So the first aspect is the as I told, this is a sustainable development goals. The goal number 4 is quality education, which I told. The first aspect is this. So the major reform has been happened in restructuring the whole thing. I'll just do the spotlight here, which you could see. So existing structure was 10 plus 2. And now the structure has been refined to 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. So the initial 5 years, even the foundation years of learning, age 3 to 6, is also brought into this framework. So that was not included earlier, and we felt early education is very important in the formative years. So the government has brought in that, and class 1 and 2. So this is considered as the foundation stage. And the next comes the preparatory stage, class 3, 4, 5, and middle stage, class 6, 7, 8, and secondary stage, class 9 to 12. So this restructuring, as you could see from this presentation, every category focuses on a particular mode. Foundation is more of play, activity based. Preparatory stage is play, discovery, and activity based. Middle stage is more of experiential learning, learning by doing. It's more of fun filled, experimental learning based. Secondary stage is multidisciplinary, where the focus is on choosing different subjects. There are more updates there, which I will let you know. So the overall restructuring has been happened to better organize our existing structure of schooling system. So this is something which we can discuss on it, and just post what you think about this restructuring thing. We'll discuss more on that. So the next aspect that we are going to see is the early childhood, which I said before, right? The initial first 3 years of the learning, that is age 3 to 6, is also brought under this framework. And the main reason is, as you all know, the formative years is very, very important. So that's where most of our brain development, cognitive development happens. And as you could see, the early age is also brought in, and a lot of reforms or curriculum frameworks going to happen in this area. We believe that a lot of children at the initial years are not getting quality education, the initial formative years. So they're directly going into the school of class 1. And before that, there are 3 important years which government feels that we need to equip them with some quality learning, which is multifaceted. That means it's going to be play-based, activity-based, and they're going to have a more natural learning environment. Is that what I could see from here? And that is what the ECC will take care of. So the ECCE is Early Childhood Care and Education. That's called ECCE. So that's a new framework for us. So we're looking to see how this will affect the early learning structure. And the next important thing the government has said is how important is fundamental numeracy and literacy. So we all know that that's very important aspect for reading, writing, and basic arithmetic. So the government has fixed a target of achieving 100% learning numeracy and arithmetic for grade 3. Till grade 3, that should be attained. So every student till grade 3 should attain that minimum literacy and numeracy, and this they have kept the goal by 2025. So by then, everybody should attain that minimum level of learning, literacy, and numeracy, which government is very serious based on the document that we could see. And they also said there will be established a lot of libraries and other stuffs to make sure this happens. So libraries there, a lot of foundation skills and everything will play an important part. So that's the more important thing when it comes to achieving the fundamental numeracy and literacy. So the next thing that they have said is something related to dropouts. As you could see, India is a very diverse country, and there are a lot of rural backgrounds and people from disadvantaged backgrounds where they could not continue the schooling, especially after grade 8. So the government has said that they used to quote by gross enrollment ratio. That means how many students have enrolled in a system. So they made sure that it should be 100% by 2030. Right now, we see dropouts starting from class 8 and above, and more after class 10th. So they say from preschool to secondary education, everyone should complete this education system, and they need to attain that 100% gross enrollment ratio. That's what they have said. So that's the universal access that we are talking about. So next comes the important aspect of curriculum and pedagogy. So is there any curriculum changes that we could see? Because the document has spoken more about transforming it. So how the basic curriculum is going to change is what we're going to look at. And first, we need to focus on the holistic development. And they have clearly said that the curriculum should not only focus on the academics, it should also focus on the other aspects of 21st century skills, health, physical health, mental health, and other aspect also should be brought inside. So all together forms a holistic nature. And they have clearly mentioned that we should move away from rote-based learning, because our existing exams and academic structure, the main reason for pressure and stress is because we focus more on the rote-based learning. The document proposes to away from it, because that's what very important, and that's what happening here as well. So I'll just share the screen as well. So yes. Okay. So the next focus from the holistic development is reduction in the curriculum, because for a lot of things to happen, and there should be certain reduction in the curriculum so that it gives space for other things to happen, be it experiential learning or whatever we say. There should be space in the academic structure for it to happen. So the core element will be retained in the curriculum, and others maybe will be tried to reduce. So we'll know that soon. So that is what happening here. And the core focus is on the experiential learning. As you could see in the presentation, experiential learning is something that we learn by doing, because that's why we are naturally there. Yes. So it should be fun, creative, collaborative, and it should be explorative in nature. So that's the fundamental of experiential learning. And based on this, the new curriculum framework will happen. So from this policy, the next step is to have the curriculum framework where they discuss about how this experiential learning will be incorporated in the day-to-day classes. And they also said that the whole flexibility in the how learning happens should accommodate new courses. So children should also be able to learn new courses wherever possible. So for this to happen, the academic structure could be changed, maybe like a semester pattern, and everything is given as an option that the state government can explore. And the next important thing that we're going to discuss, it's a very debatable one, where they've said about multilingualism and the power of language, because a lot of debates going on the language. So I'll just convey what they've actually said in the document. Then we could debate and discuss. That'll be apt. So the first thing that they have said is the whole learning should happen in the mother tongue, and that's what they said about multilingualism and power of language. Mother tongue up to at least grade 5 is what they had said. So this may be like give a new perspective to all. So up to grade 5 at least, it could be extended to grade 8 and beyond. The learning medium should happen in the mother tongue or local language or home language, because they could easily connect with the learning concepts. Because when we learn in a native language, which is not our mother tongue, it will be difficult for us to understand the concept. So they said there has been a research going on that kids who learn through their mother tongue as a medium of instruction will better understand the concepts and other details. That's one point. And next point is the 3-language policy. I know there are a lot of debate going on where there should be 3 languages that is being continued as per the document. So those 3 languages, whatever those 3 languages to be, there is a certain freedom and flexibility for the respective state government, the community, the students to choose. But my thought here is, I don't think so there is a flexibility to avoid the 3rd language. As per the document, it seems to be that it's mandatory to learn 3 languages, at least from grade 3 onwards. And there is a flexibility to choose a language, but I don't think so there is a flexibility to avoid the 3rd language as such. So I would like to hear your thoughts on this 3-language policy, and what are your thoughts? Will it be even more pressurizing the student for learning an additional language, or do you think it's very important to learn one more language. So that's what I'll be like going through it. So yes, so that is the second part. And the last part, they said that the most of the textbooks that are coming should be happen in bilingual mode. So they believe that understanding a subject and communicating the subject should happen in two languages. One is the mother tongue and one more in English. So right from the teachers and everybody who communicating should actually support bilingual. That's what they said. So they need to communicate in two languages so that the children could understand and take it forward. So this, with respect to the multilingualism and the power of language, would like to know your thoughts specifically on the three language policy and using mother tongue as a medium of instruction in the early years, that is the primary segment. So what is your thoughts on that? So yes. I'll just quickly move to the next thing where they talk about what else other essential subject skills the particular student should learn. So that's very important here to see. So there should be an integration of subjects. I mean, we don't need to see subject as a separate thing. Everything can be connected together. That's what they have said. And there are some very basic skills that are a very priority now. For example, basic 21st century skills and other things are a key priority which needs to be incorporated in the existing structure. So I'll just quickly move to the slide. Yes. Okay. So as you could see, there should be an integration of subjects. There should be like no silos among subjects learning. So every subject should be seen together. It's what they have said. No segregation. And the important aspect here is there are some basic skills they're trying to target in this segment. There are some essential skills like 21st century skills, collaboration, critical thinking, creativity, and other important aspects like fundamental duties, ethics, environment education. Every basic thing is something that we can't neglect. That is the fundamental thing that needs to be like learned by all. But they have also introduced some very new contemporary subjects like artificial intelligence, design thinking, global citizenship. So that these are also very important, and it seems they're also going to introduce coding as part of the middle school system. So that's what they have said at this point. And the important thing that is happening here also mentioned that there is going to be a vocational training incorporated from the middle school years, grade 6 to 8, where they will learn a new art and craft or something from the local community. It could be pottery, electric work, whichever that is available in the local community, whichever skills are very important in that zone, they could pick up and learn it. So vocational training seems to be a very important thing. And there is also one more aspect where they have said about 10-day bagless period. So in an academic year between class 6 to 8, 10 days, there is no need to carry the bag. They need to do an internship on any one vocational course which they are interested in. So this is something that is welcomed, where apart from the curriculum, other skills also important, appreciating art and craft. It could be anything that the school could adopt and these students could learn it. So that is one thing. So what is your thought on bagless days? Because they have clearly mentioned that 10 days there should be no bag, and they could involve in any other internship kind of thing in the middle school. And those middle school years, 6 to 8, it's going to be more of practical oriented. So we could see a lot of reforms happening in that middle school years, which is going to be more practical. That's what I could see there. So based on this, as I said, national curriculum framework will come into place based on this document, which will get refined every 5 to 10 years, is what they have said for this. So, and you could ask, what about textbooks? Is there any changes going to be there in the textbook? I'll just share the slide. Yes, the textbooks also needs to adapt to the changes in the curriculum. So I'll just share that. Yes. So as you could see, textbooks with local content and flavor is what they have said. So all textbooks should contain only the core essential part. As you could see, the reduction in the curriculum will help in textbooks becoming more compact, and the respective states could prepare their own textbooks, add their local content, because that is what important. States to prepare their own curriculum and textbooks, it's what very important. And there is also mentioned that significantly reduce the weight of school bags and textbooks. So the whole work uh, from which it needs to be adapted is also taken into consideration in terms of weight and the size. I mean, the amount of curriculum. So that's what the overall aspect of it. So I'll also noting down all your questions and also like address that at the end of the video. Hope you'll stay till the end. So this is what with respect to curriculum, and some of you asked why there is a need for textbooks and other stuff. So I'll address that based on my perspectives. So yes, so that textbooks reform also will tend to happen. And next we are going to see something very important in terms of assessment, because in how we are going to assess is very important, because my personal perspective is we need to we are always tend to study for the sake of exams, correct? I mean, based on my personal experience, so we always tend to learn and study for the exams. But as per the policy document, exams or assessments should be helpful for the learning purpose. I mean, it should help us to learn better or understand us, and then take uh, qualitative action points for not just the children but for the entire school system. So the assessments, it's very important to consider in terms of seeing how we could change the structure of assessment so that all other policies are in place. That's very important. So the first need is the purpose of transformation, which I said now, and the second is they're going to introduce a 360-degree report card. Okay, so you could all imagine, if even if parents are seeing it, children are seeing it, in report card we only used to see our marks alone in different subjects, right? And more than that, it's not our whole reflection. Mark only does not determine who I am. There are a lot of other things also determines who I am, based on my projects, based on my skills, based on my talents. So the government has bring to a notice that there should be a holistic report card which not only like measures marks but also like other things. So this is the whole culture of assessment. So this is the holistic report card. So imagine a report card like imagine a report card like a student portfolio, where they could have their reflection skills and talents mentioned in the report. So while seeing that itself, we could identify what special talents the child has and what he or she is good at, not just about academics. It's about 360-degree holistic report card, which is very necessary is what I feel, because marks is not the only phase. We should have other multi-dimensional phases also mentioned in the report card. So they also said that there should be an AI-based software to be developed, artificial intelligence, so that we could track the growth along the school years and help students to make correct career choices. As we could see now, there are a lot of struggle challenges happening into decide what I'm good at, what next I can choose, which stream I can choose, which college I can go, which degree is best for me. So this holistic report card, it's a very challenging task, as you know, as a parent or a school, but the government is proposing very strongly that this report card is very much important. So the next that we are going to see is the next step. Okay, next, with respect to report cards, what is the next? What about the board exams in class 10 and 12? So I could like to bring to a notice that uh, they have clearly mentioned that board exams or any other competitive examinations right now are creating a need for a coaching system. It's adding a lot of pressure for the students. That's clearly mentioned in the new education policy, and I have faced that pressure, and a lot of other children are faced with pressure, and we could see the consequences. So they have made a lot of reforms. So 10th and 12th board exams will not be avoided, but there'll be reforms happening in 10th and 12th board exam. So these are some certain points that they have mentioned about 10th and 12th board exams. So the one important aspect is board exam will be made easier in terms like it only assesses the core conceptual understanding. It does not assess or measure the rote learning or rote memorization. So memorizing a lot of concepts, huge volume of books, that will not be assessed in the board exam. It will be more of conceptual understanding. So if we just understand the concept, then it should be like easily clear the exam. That's what they are intending. And next is board exams could be like in forms of semester pattern. It could be like done twice in a year. They also proposed a mode where a student can take the board exams twice. So they could choose best of the two. So board exams, we always see that that's the only one entrance we need to perform well. That's only one time opportunity. So not like that. Board exams can taken twice in 10th and 12th, and best marks could be taken forward. Is what they have mentioned there. Again, we need to wait for further policies on that aspect. And as I said before, board exams could be done in a tri-semester pattern. So they are saying that only if we have the board exam at the end, really a lot of pressure is there because a lot of things to conceptually understand and present. They also said, why can't we do a formative assessment? Summative is only at the end. Formative is continuous. So we could do with a less material. Once a particular chapter or a particular month or a term is done, we could have an exam and we could have one more assessment, is what they have mentioned. So this will reduce the stress on the end board exams, is what they are going to feel. So the next aspect is what about assessments for class 3, 5 and 8? Yes, so there is going to be an assessment for class 3, 5, 8, and what I understand from that is there's going to be a key assessment at the class of 3, 5 and 8. So it's some of you may be worried. There are a lot of debate also going on in how could a board exam happen in 3, 5, 8. But I'm not seeing this as a board exam. This is just a school exam. But at the end of the day, we need to understand whatever we are doing is it impactful or not. The government has brought a lot of policies. There should be some checkpoint to check whether this has happened in a right sense or not. And those marks are only for the development purpose. It is not any way to compare students. So the fault is not on the children's side. We all know that. So how those measurements could help the school system will help the education system to better refine their existing pedagogy and policies. So it's what that is happening here. So there should be grades, exams going to happen in 3, 5, 8, and those measurements is going to be taken, and it's going to be on learning outcomes. So that is what going to happen here. So assessment of core concepts and knowledge, it's very important, and moving away from rote learning, as you said. So the results of examination will be only used for the development of schooling system. So we could hear more policies in that. So I'll just quickly move what others has happened in the assessment sector. Yes, there is a new body set up called PARAK, which means Performance Assessment Review and Analysis of Knowledge for Holistic Development. So whatever that's going to be assessed will be made by this assessment body, and they are not going to measure, as I said before, not just the marks, but a holistic measure, including the 21st century skills, focus on mental health, wellness, and everything will be considered, and they'll be guiding the states, the responsible states, for them to take corrective actions. And there is one more aspect as well called National Testing Agency, where they're going to they are the body which does all the competitive examinations. So even that examinations will be reformed in such a way that there is no need for a coaching industry. So as of now, we could see a lot of students are going inside this coaching industry for the sake of getting coached and getting better results. So the system needs to reform in such a way that they focus on conceptual understanding, and there is no need for a separate coaching, is what they said. And they also mentioned that those portfolios or reports, whatever that we gain through this curriculum, can be directly used for university entrance exams. And they suggested that university need not conduct their own entrance exam, because that increases the complexity, right? Students needs to prepare a lot of entrance exams for different universities. So universities could take this competitive examinations into consideration. It's what is what they have told. So we could see the shift or the transformation happening in the sector as well. So that's the main point with respect to assessment. So it's going to be even more stress free, and hopefully it doesn't require rote memorization, because that is what they say they're going to moving away from. It's going to be easier, more holistic measure, and a lot of ways to reduce the anxiety and stress of board exams. And 358, it's going to be a school examination. Okay. Yes. So the next part is, so what for the gifted students and special talented students. I'm sure there are a lot of students who are talented and skillful other than the core academic area. But even then, there should be an opportunity by the teachers to identify that and give them a solid exposure, maybe through competitions, maybe through other ways on how we could equip that. So they also said they need to be project circles, project clubs. So we usually we have clubs in school. It could be subject clubs or other co-curricular activities. So those clubs could identify the special talents, and schools or the teachers could identify them, nurture. So those students, especially from the rural areas and disadvantaged backgrounds, they should not be left. So those talent are very important, and we need to take into that consideration as well. So that is for the special talented students into consideration. So the overall, this is a quick summary. It's almost 7 o'clock here. I'm going to end in couple of minutes more. So the last aspect regarding the teacher aspect is I will do a separate video for the teachers, and they clearly mentioned that teachers are an important aspect in this journey. I mean, we should respect their profession and whatever they're doing, and they are one of the important people in this whole education. So their training, recruitment, we need to have the best passionate people in teaching industry, so that this policy could be implemented. So that's very important. So I'll take some of the questions from the audience here. I'll just have one more thing to say. And yeah, with respect to teachers, teaching program, that is B.Ed programs, within by 2030 will be offered as a 4-year B.Ed program in multidisciplinary universities. So all other universities can now provide a 4-year B.Ed program, and that's very important. And even for identifying those gifted students, talented students, there'll be a special course included in the B.Ed for identifying that. So that's what the important aspect of it. So yes. Great. I think I've lost some of the questions. I know there is one person who's spamming the YouTube. So apologies for that. We could not remove it. So I'll just try to see if there are any questions I need to answer. Yeah. If possible, you can pose the questions again so that I could answer it. Will we have Hindi and Tamil at 9th? We need to wait. One important thing is all this implementation will happen from the next academic year. So they also framed a timeline of when things to happen, because this is not an easy task. It needs to be planned and taken forward. So all those debates are going on now, discussions are happening. So we need to have another word from the state government to see what is the real thing that we're going to implement. So One parent has asked, why can't we opt single language for teaching and keep languages as optional? So that's true in the sense, and there is one important point in the policy which said that the languages need not be the medium of instruction to be learned and adopted. They say that language as a skill, we could learn it, and medium of instruction could be in the mother tongue or the regional language is what they have told. So I'm still waiting for how this will turn out to be, how we could implement in a practical sense, because very challenging. Importantly, in the metropolitan cities where the multiple people, different diverse people, language people are in one classroom, I'm just thinking how it is possible to have mother tongue as a medium of instruction in one classroom as we have different diverse people is what. So will we have board exams is still there for 10th and 12th. Board exams are there. It's going to be continued, but it will be a change. We could expect a change in the board exam in 22-23 academic year. So 2 years down the lane, the preparation needs to go. In 2 years, we'll have reformations in board exams. And yeah, will we able to choose our own subject from class 9th? Yes, I actually missed that point. Yes, in secondary education, you can actually choose your subjects, and subjects could be choose from different segments: art and craft, physical education, health. There could be a lot of subjects, and you could mix and match different subjects, because now there is no hierarchy of subjects. So you could choose different subject and attend board exams only for that. That's what is said in the policy. So freedom and flexibility to choose the subjects will be there more in the secondary classes. So based on your interest and passion, you can choose it. So that's what it said. Okay, so how ninth standard chosen will be able to choose, because now choosing medicine and I think engineering has become compulsory to the child. So it's not at the end, seeing outside, engineering and medicine is not the only thing, but there is always a hype for engineering and medicine because we see that as the only job or only thing to do. But when they said that every subject is equal, there is no segregation of subjects, this will break down from the early years as well. So no more science and math is the only important subject. So even the art is considered as an important subject. As a matter of fact, I had my last drawing class in my grade 8th in school, and after that there was no opportunity for me to learn or practice art, but I still miss it. So what if a student is very motivated in art? He or she could choose that as a subject and go forward, is what is the freedom of choosing the subject. So a 9th standard student at that point should be capable of choosing with the support of teachers and other people. He or she should be able to take that call himself in choosing the subject, is what I feel. So how much time it will take? So it will go till 2030. So they have framed like 10 years. It will implement phase by phase. So this is a policy that comes after 34 years. So policy is one, that's the beginning, right? Implementation is the most challenging part. Even within a school system, small change, when we try to do, it's very challenging. As a parent, as a teacher, you know that. So implementing this big system calls for a lot of planning, both central and state government, which we are looking forward to it. And how many can we choose? There is no clarity on that. Somebody said, what are the subjects we can choose? I think soon they'll list on optional what are the subjects that is available and how many can we choose, and a lot of other aspects are there. Yes. So does class 7 and 8 as board exams? No, it's not considered board exams. Let's not use the word board exams. Board exams becomes more serious. It gives, when I say the word board exams, it's giving stress to me. So let's not say that. Class 3, 5 and 8 will have school exams, which will be, those outcomes will be taken into overall development of the system. So in no ways it's going to affect the child learning or going to the next level. It's only a metric for the government and the school system to see how well we are performing. So are we doing in the right sense? So it's more like that. music and extracurricular activities are there next year. I'm still not sure. We need to wait for this policy to roll out. It'll take at least 1 or 2 years. I'm still waiting. Even I would love to have music and other things as part of the regular curriculum. So we need to wait and see. Sir, have they accepted this new education policy or debating about this yet? So the last year that we received was a draft policy, and now the final policy has come and the central government has approved it. And now it is up to the state government to debate it, to see what could be implemented, because there are freedoms here and there for them to adopt and restructure it. So we will all know it when the actual implementation plan comes. So we need to wait for that to happen. So I'll just go for the next couple of 3 more minutes to address some of the questions. If I miss certain questions, I'm really sorry. I will address, or I'll collect all these questions. I'll do one more video next week as well. Yes. People having 4 years of graduation can complete. Yes, that's exactly, ma'am. You are very true. So the people who've already done 4 years of any bachelor's can now do B.Ed. I think that's 2 years, I guess. I'm not sure if it's 2 year or 1 year. So there are freedoms and flexibility. Even if I'm doing engineer, 4 years done. If I'm interested in teaching, I could do a B.Ed program and I could teach. So that freedom is there. And even for teachers, there is a flexibility to do a 4 year program is what they have done in multidisciplinary universities. So now universities will also offer B.Ed program. That's what they're saying. So when policy would apply? Yes, hopefully in couple of years. The work should start soon. Once the policy is done, now it's with the state government to see what they could take it forward, and we should have the national curriculum framework, textbook reform, and everything will happen in a phased manner. And they've also released a timeline kind of thing, and we need to wait for more details. Bohr was athletic and he was physicist. Yes. So we could see multiple personalities, right? We should not only have one phase. We could love and enjoy doing different things. And this education system should give that freedom and flexibility to make sure that we follow what we love doing. Correct. So it should not restrict us, but it should more of give us freedom to do what we love doing and what we want to pursue. So right now, hobby is a different thing, and what we are currently doing is a different thing for many of the people out there. So they do the core work and they also focus on the hobby. These two are two different things. But I'm just thinking, it's my perspective, what would be if both are the same thing, but there's also a risk factor I could understand from parents' side. So whatever they choose, they should also have a proper economic situation as well. So a lot of things to debate on that, but I'm just seeing if an opportunity could, as I said, that AI assessments, if that AI technology could predict what the children are good at and connect them with career choices that are really booming, that are coming up very well, that would be nice. Yes, I think you should have the freedom to choose many hobbies. So it should not consider as a hobby. It's your most important thing. So when we compare hobby and the academics, usually the academics weighs more importance, right? Usually they say focus on the studies, focus on marks. But right now this policy has clearly said that everything, curriculum, non-curricular, vocational, academics, physical education, health, everything are equal. There is no differentiation. Everything should be seen on the same level is what it's important. Did the state government has accepted? No. I mean, still we need to have, because it's released very recently, we need to have the update from the government. So still they're debating on a public forums. Even there are a lot of people on social media debating on this. That's a good, healthy thing. We just need to wait for what state government has to say. Kashmir to Kanyakumari are possible to follow this policy. I've no answer for this. This is a national education policy. India is a diverse country with different states, and every states are in a different position, a different environment. There are freedom and flexibility wherever necessary for the state government, because that is very important. We can't, in my perspective, the local curriculum and other things, we need to understand about something that is close to us first. That's very important, right? Our language and whatever we are learning from surroundings, that's very important, and that should be that freedom and flexibility for do that. That's what I feel, and I'm still looking forward to what the state governments are saying about this new policy. What if this policy doesn't apply? Like, will it become a digital policy? I don't understand it. This policy is already in place, and there are a lot of other steps that we need to go forward. Is what I feel now. Uh, Sir, if we choose a subject and follow that only, or I think the freedom to choose a subject is from the secondary education. So that's what it's very important. That flexibility is there, but we don't know what subjects are available, what can we choose, how we could learn. Imagine in a class, everybody loves to do different things. Uh, will it be more complex, challenging for the school? Obviously, it will be. But how we are going to tackle it? Right now, digital education is one where we could learn whatever we like. But in a school setup, we just need to wait and see how challenging it is. Okay, I'll just reply. It will become. It is not a digital policy. I mean, whatever the policy is there, it'll apply. But whatever changes with changes, it will get applied. Is what I feel. So I think. Thank you, parents. I think it's very important. First, I need to address the parents who are watching this. Parents and teachers and educators, because you are the very important people who needs to read this document first. So I'll also post the link of the document which you can download, and when you are free, please read the document, at least the first uh, few pages. I just posted the link which you can see it here in the chat. So you can download the document, official document, and you could give it a read along with the family. And we're also doing the Tamil translation soon. I'll also forward that very soon. So it's very important to translate that in as many regional languages possible. And parents, if you have any specific questions, you can share that to my personal number. I'll also address that. I'll also reply through different videos and articles. If you have any clarifications needed, you could also like WhatsApp. You will have my number, or you can message to the group, WhatsApp group that you're already in, or in the Facebook or YouTube that you're already there. You can type the comments here. So you can also like check that. Okay. So the document that I have shared, that is released by the central governments. You can download and give it a read whenever you are free. So I think I'm done, and I would like to hear, even after the session, I would like to hear uh, uh, your feedback on this policy. So what are your initial thoughts? What you feel is it's good? What you feel can be improved? What you feel can be neglected? So I just shared some of the important aspects. So what is your initial thoughts on this? You could share that in the comment section, or you could also share that to the group or to the number, and I'll be happy to listen to it. And I'll also make sure I'll do this in the regular often, because it's very important for us to understand this policy first and then debate, discuss very healthily. That's important. We should not reject or accept the full document as such. We should take some positive points and then debate on the reflective points. So once again, thank you for staying in this live. This is somewhat a new experience for me, where there is not other person, so only I am speaking. So hope I made sense. Hope I didn't go really fast. So looking forward to your feedback so that I can improve on it. So anything that's related to education policy, please discuss, have a debate among the family, and also share this video. This video is live in Facebook and YouTube. Please share that to your families and friends, because I feel that's very important for everybody to understand it. So looking forward, hopefully, positively, we are going to have a refreshed education system that is more supportive for the children, child-centered, where they are natural learners. So I'm just really looking forward to a system which supports that natural learning and gives a lot of freedom and flexibility for the children. Okay, looking forward. Thank you all.